angles. It'd probably be much lower, to be more dramatic, but I want to stay in the hallway. I don't want to pop to other angles.
I understand. Player's here, she jumps out, scares him, knocks him, boom, and the camera keeps tracking towards the Medusa, so you get close up into her face and then cut.
That's a CS move. Can you do that?
It's not a trivial matter.
It's no longer simple.
It's a non-trivial matter.
It was a simple setup before, and it won't be if you do that.
Right.
It's really easy to go through a production and go, okay, this is sort of working all the way. I'll get the last 10%, when we start heading down. Problem with that kind of mentality is always that 10% turns into 50, 60, 70% because it's like, oh, well, what I thought was going to work didn't. Now I'm back to the drawing board. E3 allows us that opportunity to just go, we're going to get it all done, and it's got to be done all the way. And it kind of is a little wake-up call for a lot of people. I think that's great.
Well, Pegasus animations, just so the Pegasus himself feel like we're still in first pass with not a lot of stuff in there, and I thought we were going to be much further along.
This is the new God of War 2. This is going to be our signature piece.
Steve is the guy that has to basically jump in the middle of the firefight and calmly figure out how it's all going to get figured out. Bullets whizzing by all over the place, and he's got to figure out what's going to go on here. And, I'm over there with like a Gatling gun just firing bullets all over the place, throwing grenades at him. Hey, we should change this. Let's put this over here. What if we had rain in this scene? This would be awesome. Budget's going up in his head, schedule's ballooning out of control, and I'm just, like a kid who's found his dad's gun, firing it all over the place. He's not sitting around waiting for this problem to get solved on his own.
There's a lot of animation work to be done.
For whatever it's worth, it seemed like we've been talking a lot about like art and some animation stuff, but it seems like when we go through the level, there's no enemies in there.
There's
no
lot
chests.
of design work that has to go through.
Pegasus is like almost like completely undesigned at this point.
I totally disagree with that statement. You guys need to sit down and play Pegasus.
I play it every day at Ray's desk. I mean, it's not.
Right.
It doesn't feel like. I'm not
said
trying to start shit or anything. I'm just saying like we've been talking a lot about the art.
I just felt like the artists are here, and from a Pegasus standpoint, I had said I need to sit down with Chip and Aaron.
The purpose of this meeting is just to talk about the things that we can do, and then I basically have no place in saying that, I guess.
Stig's coming from a really good place, man. He's a guy that I feel truly leads by example. This guy shows you that it can be done by doing it himself, by really instilling that sense of pride within your own work, by showing that he has that sense of pride in the work.
I'm not trying to start shit, like it's not observation.
Yes, you are, but it's a good shit that you're starting. This isn't a dig on you, so don't think I'm attacking you. But you fucking suck. No, but seriously, we gotta fucking step it up.
That's it.
Excellent. There are numerous red flags. There's a ton of stuff that really needs a lot of work. Stitching the level together still really isn't there. It's kind of duct taped together. Not even it's scotch tape. It's scotch taped together right now. It's not even that much. We've got a lot of art issues, a ton of animations that have to get done. So we're gonna have a lot of fun trying to figure that one out. It was a good thing to kind of get a status check from everybody, but we have a shitload of work to do.
That's a possible solution.
It was also mentioned that the projectiles that fire from Pegasus seem to be coming from the Pegasus's ass.
Pegasus is kind of an interesting situation that we got into because it's kind of like developing a new game. Every step of the way, you get one thing fixed and then you find something else that you didn't know about. So it's not like you can say it was broken, but it's a new feature that you need, and it's still happening right now.
Pegasus is a different game. Might as well be called Pegasus.
It doesn't look like this year we are making it with Pegasus, and it sucks for all of us, but we all kind of feel the exact same way, which is we don't want anybody to see it until we all feel 100% about it. So that's the sort of the double-edged sword of E3 is, you can chase the demo, trying to get it out there, trying to show people what you got, but if it's crap, you're gonna pay the price.
I was running the Pegasus push to E3, and to see that not make it was like getting kicked in the balls by a donkey. Very hard.
I think in the end we'll be all right, but I think right now there's still a lot to figure out with Pegasus.
Doesn't fix those weapons.
Right now you can tell everybody's stressed out, so you don't want to talk to anybody. You just kind of, if you stick around our little biz dev area, you'll be safe. So we're pretty relaxed. Hopefully this will only be seen after the game comes out. So we have to kind of get everything out before everybody builds it. So we've had our share. So now it's their turn.
Can't go home until he goes home.
I'm sleeping here tonight, man. There's no hope for you. It's all over.
There you have it. I'm sleeping here tonight.
That hole that is created, it feels like if we made it more extreme, like actual cracks that appear on one frame. We got so much done in this last month. We lost a few years off of our life due to sleep deprivation, but you know, we got a lot done. They get to a point where they're just like, I don't know, should I attack? I don't know. Over here, they just want to love. So yeah, I don't have any idea why he's just decided now that attacking is not in his best interest. It's incredibly daunting knowing that the entire team is pushing themselves really hard and everybody's, you know, staying late, putting in lots of overtime and really putting everything they have into this demo.
It's a much more tense environment than it normally is. I mean, everyone's really under the gun, a lot of pressure, a lot of tired people.
It's not rocket science, no one dies as a result of doing it, but it's a pretty stressful job nonetheless. Lots of very passionate people working on the project, and that can lead to some arguments and stress. And there's definitely a few evenings you go home and you just want to go and punch something.
The stress level gets high enough that I just try to mentally just stop myself from caring and just sort of robotically go about it. And no matter what somebody says to me, it's just like, okay, they don't mean that. I'm just going to keep moving.
There's a lot of freaking out and then just kind of stepping back and just reminding yourself that, you know, it's a video game.
Who controls the camera tween? Does anybody? Is it automatic? How's that work? The product is ours. We have the right to beat the living crap out of it. We have the right to be picky and brutal and evaluate it from the, you know, this is shit. This is the worst I've ever seen. I mean, we have the right. We're creating that. We have the right to say that. And I find that if we don't take that approach, or if someone doesn't take that approach, when we release the product, everyone else in the world will.
There's a smoothness to where the animation needs to be, and it's not there.
It's not about you're not doing your job. It's about the product isn't where it needs to be. What do we need to do to get the product there? That's always been my philosophy.
I gotta say, the ending is low budget. It's truly a live or die situation, you know? I want to make a great game and I want to make a great experience, but if I don't, it's probably it for me. I hope not, but most likely it is. I drove around for an hour looking for a parking space. I had forgotten how fantastic E3 is. Fuck that. It's been a long road and we only have a small amount of the game finished, but it's showing very well. Right now the booth is pretty packed. We've only got 8 stations, so a lot of people are at the booth. It's very exciting, very good for us. I'm looking forward to seeing people's responses back to this thing. Right now I haven't heard anything, but seeing the crowds is definitely an inspiring thing.
But it's cool. It's so surreal, like seeing the game you work on, like on the floor. It's awesome. Fantastic. I like the same gameplay with more intense moves. I like that you can do multiple grabs and that even though the guy is technically dead, you can still beat the crap out of him.
As a consumer, I say, why am I going to go draw cash on a 360 or a PS3 when I can get that kind of performance out of my PS2 and a game that looks that great? That's awesome.
I was actually kind of bummed out when I heard we were going to do this game on the PlayStation 2. You know, going to E3, I was just like, this is great. We're squeezing juice out of the PS2 that's, you know, looking at the games at E3. 99% of the time when I look at a game, I'm like, our game looks better.
The day we ship our Gold Master, that will be the end of the PS2 era for me. And I'm going to be very sad. It's been, without doubt, the most fun console I've ever worked on. It's been a very, very good few years working on this machine. And I really feel like we're giving it a good send-off.
I think at E3 to see even with the PS3 booth 15 feet away, we still had lines of people wanting to play the game and people really enthusiastic and talking about it. It's why we make the games. It's why we suffer. And that's why we enjoy ourselves, is because we want people to have fun playing it and to see people having fun playing it. That's what it's all about.
Fuck you wearing, dude? What's up, Haas? How you doing, man?
Dude, this is the first like game I'm really actually proud of.